Hey guys, what is going on? So I wanted to talk about Epicatechin. This is a supplement that I've gotten a few questions on, and I addressed it in a video pretty recently. But Team 3D Alpha just made a video talking about Epicatechin and where you should get it from in terms of food sources, and I just kind of want to dissect that for those of you who are potentially thinking about supplementing with it. And I actually just went ahead and bought some myself because I looked at the prices, I looked at the comparisons relative to some of the other brands, and I just, saw that the price was a lot better on HR supplements, so that's where I bought mine. But I kind of want to tell you why I bought from there as opposed to getting it from food or, a different company. So, first of all, for those of you who are familiar with Team 3D Alpha, Megan, he basically started the trend of talking about ecdysterone more so than I would say Derek did. I think Derek popularized it in terms of terkesterone and ecdysterone because obviously he has a ton of followers, and so that really kind of got the ball rolling. But Megan has been talking about ecdysterone. He just does not recommend getting it from supplements. He recommends getting it from quinoa and spinach. If you look at the dosages that you're going to get from those food sources, especially when you consider the excess calories that you'd be getting specifically from quinoa, because that's going to be a pretty good source for it, it starts to become what I would consider to not really be an effective dose. Now, I know people, a lot of you have come to me and said that, quinoa and spinach has helped you, and that's great. I'm not saying that it can't help. I just think that having a adequate dosage of it, I think, is going to be more beneficial, and I think that can only really be achieved via supplementation. So he talks about with Epicatechin the same thing. This is his stance across the board. You should get it from food, not from supplements. He doesn't trust supplement companies. I get that. I personally have taken Epicatechin in the past and I have gotten results from it. It's been a while, but I did just go ahead and buy some more because the pricing on Epicatechin from HR supplements is just way cheaper than I remember it being. I went and I looked on Amazon, and yeah, it is a much cheaper price. And usually I'd be, skeptical of that, but considering I've taken their ecdysterone and I've gotten results from that, I trust the company. I'm not saying 100% that this, Epicatechin is going to work or it's going to be beneficial. I have not tried it yet, but I do, trust the brand a little bit more than I would have had I not tried their ecdysterone. So I'm going ahead, I'm going to pull the trigger. I will let you guys know how that works out. But in terms of dosages, so he talks about basically you get it from chocolate, dark chocolate in particular, and it's basically impossible to get an effective dose if you're only eating dark chocolate. So he recommends cocoa powder, and he says it has to be, unsweetened, not super processed, and only then if you get that kind, which I'm guessing most people, their cocoa powder is not going to be that, 100-gram dose will get you 160 milligrams. So to put that in perspective, 100 grams is almost a quarter pound. So I used to take cocoa powder, actually. I used to regularly have it. A quarter pound is a lot, guys. Like, that is an excessive amount, and it is nasty. And I don't even think the stuff that I was getting was like unsweetened, and it was still gross. So getting that for 160 milligrams, whereas on the other hand, if you get it from HR supplements, then that's going to be 250 milligrams for one little capsule. And I think 180 count is like $50, and it's the same thing. If you buy in bulk, you can save money. Also, if you use, I found some random person's code online. If you do that, you can save even more money. So the cost ends up probably being not that different. And for 160 milligrams versus 250 milligrams, one being you have to choke down a quarter pound of nasty cocoa powder, and the other one is just one single capsule. They recommend on the bottle taking, I think, 2 to 4 a day. So you're probably going to be taking half a gram to a gram. And as we've kind of discussed with ecdysterone, I think the dosages that they have in the studies are too low. Like, I think that it's similar to all other studies where they just have a very small dosage and they're like, this is better than Dianabol, and it's just straight up it isn't. And in practice, it's really not like that. So 160 milligrams is probably not going to be enough in terms of getting Epicatechin for it to be super effective. Now, you can probably get some benefit from doing that, but obviously you'd want to get a actually good dosage. So I would say, you're probably going to go towards taking 2 capsules a day. That's probably what I'm going to do, is take 2. Maybe I'd ramp it up to 4. But in that case, you would be getting half a pound to a pound of cocoa powder per day. And that wouldn't even be the equivalent dosage. That would be 160 versus 250. So basically, same idea. I have the same stance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get your nutrients from food. I'm saying there are certain things that you can only really get a good dosage from via supplementation and not from food. So I'm going to get Epicatechin. I'm getting it from HR Supplements, seem to be the best price. I cannot vouch for their Epicatechin in particular because I have not taken it yet, so I can't tell you if it is effective. But I have taken Epicatechin in the past and it has been effective. So hopefully this brand continues to be reputable, in which case it would be probably the cheapest Epicatechin you can get. That's the brand I'm going to be trying, but just wanted to throw that out there. I've had quite a few questions since I made that video about the Epicatechin, and I think that you're much better off supplementing. Even if you don't get HR Supplements brand, if you get somebody else's brand, choking down like a half pound to a pound of cocoa powder every day, I just do not think is going to be a good way to do things. In the same way that I don't think eating like pounds of quinoa a day is going to be good either. So that's my stance. You can agree or disagree, but that is just the way that I see it. And I want to put that out there for anybody who was going to start choking that stuff down and probably not going to see much of a benefit. And, you know, if you want to go that route, I think Epicatechin is in stock. I think it's been in stock for a while. Ecdysterone has been out of stock for a few days now. I think the powder might still be in stock, but otherwise, like I said, that stuff is pretty nasty from what I've heard. I would probably wait for the capsules to restock. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I'll keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.